So I'm gonna go on record and say that I don't like the whole camps of boomers and millennials. I see people. If people are cool and people aren't, then, their age doesn't matter to me. Um, if you're a tool, then I don't want to hang out with you. So, yeah, when people are like, okay, boomer, I feel like you're writing them off for an immutable characteristic that they have. And when people say, oh, kids these days, same thing. You go back to an old TV interview from 1959, and Anthony Perkins, people called his generation the Beat Generation, lazy and had no direction. That was the 50s. Um, you could argue that he was from the generation that preceded the boomers, but still, it was just like the preceding generation always thinks the upcoming one is like not as good as them. Likewise, the sequel always thinks it's better than the first one. So, um, but in all of this, so I know boomers who are cool, and I know millennials who are cool. And I don't like either way when like I've said before, when people say, okay, boomer, or kids these days. It's annoying. But I do notice this one thing. I do feel that it's more appropriate. No, not more appropriate. I do feel that there's less of a problem. Wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. I feel it's more tolerable to say kids these days than okay, boomer. Like, when people say okay, boomer, that's like, oh, so disrespectful. And people are like, I don't even know millennials who are riled up by people saying, oh, kids these days. In general, I don't hear people being as upset by it, but we don't like being group just dismissed with that. So, and then when people do hear okay, boomer, it's like, well, yeah, now you know what it's like to just be dismissed for an immutable factor. So maybe let's not do that. I mean, how about an armed truce where, millennials don't just say, okay, boomer, and boomers don't just say, kids these days. It's kind of stupid, and I don't think it should have ever been a thing, but, treat people cool if they're cool, no matter what their age. And if they're tools, don't hang out with them.